Hi, I'm Josh Summer, and I'm going to be a senior at West Seattle High School next September.
Hi, my name is Zach Bauman, and I will be a senior at Seattle Lutheran High School next September.
A day at group work camp starts with breakfast at 7, and then you go to your morning devotion, do a couple songs, and then head on out to your work site. You work at your work site from whenever the devotion is done and you get to your site until 3:30, and then in the middle of that you have lunch and your lunch devotion, and then after you go home you have a little bit of free time, dinner, and then your evening devotion. And the evening devotion was always super powerful and just a time of reflection for everybody, really.
Before going to work camp, I thought it was just kind of going to be like you'll wake up, you drudge over to your work site, and you get it done, and it's going to take forever, and it's going to be horrible. And I was just doing it to get my senior project hours in, so I didn't really have high expectations for it.
My thoughts before going on the trip were mostly nervousness about going and teaming up with a bunch of people you don't know for a whole week and just not having a lot of time with your youth group, but you do get your youth group at the end, so that made me feel a little bit better. But once I got there and I met my crew, our whole 6-person crew of no one knowing each other, everything clicked, and there was no need to be worried in the first place.
During work camp, I just felt so good about everything, and it was a ton of fun. I got to know a whole bunch of strangers that I had never met before. I got to know them really well, and we were really good friends by the end of it. My life has changed because during camp, I just felt this physical presence of Jesus and this amazing love, and I've wanted to keep that alive for as long as I can.
Group work camps was life-changing for a lot of people, I think. A lot of people have gone there a lot in their past, but everybody seemed to have a new outlook at the end of the week. But the main thing that I think group work camps really helped with was the people that couldn't do their own housework. They needed some help with either money or the actual ability to do it, and I think that was the biggest impact. My life has changed because of the great devotions that they have there and how they make you really think about your relationship with Jesus and how you can make that better, longer lasting, deeper, just anything you can do to be more closer to God.
My first resident, we were with them for 4 days. There was a man named Vincent, a lady named Aubrey, and their kid named Gabriel. Vincent broke his back and suffered brain injury when he got hit by a drunk driver. But you wouldn't be able to tell anything was wrong at all with him. He functioned just fine. He could walk around. But I guess he couldn't paint his house. But he did make pizza for us on the last day we were there. He made it from scratch because he used to work in a restaurant. His wife was gone most of the day, but we got to see her now and again. She did kind of an in-home personal care thing for old people or disabled people. And their son, Gabriel, was just about to go into the 2nd grade, and he was an absolute genius.
I feel like we brought Jesus to our resident through our willingness to drop everything what we're doing for a week in the summer, and they even said that a couple times, that they thought it was really cool how we as teenagers dropped a week of our summer to come to this place, Okanagan, and help them out. That was really powerful to them.
I brought Jesus to my resident because I was the person who was in charge of lunch and stuff, and when you go to lunch, you also have devotions. So every day I would invite our resident to come eat and do devotions with us, and they came out and they prayed with us. They participated fully in the devotion, and on our very last day there, we were supposed to invite our resident to come to the evening program with us, and they did come and they did participate. And we actually got into some very deep and personal questions, and they opened up to us and we opened up to them, and we all prayed for each other.
My favorite memory from group work camps was the fact that everywhere you went, everybody was so kind and loving and showing the love of God, and it felt like you knew everybody, and it was nice. And at the end there were care cards, and those were really powerful. They show you'd write down a nice thing about someone during the week, and it makes you feel good afterwards.
Group work camps served the community because they got all these middle schoolers and high schoolers and adults who are perfectly healthy to come in and do stuff for people who are poor or disabled, and they're either working all day and can't do it, or they're disabled in some way where they can't do it. Like, our first resident, he broke his back, he can't do the work. The wife's gone all day, she can't do the work. But our second resident on the last day, they were a very old couple, and they each had like 5 different kinds of cancer, and the husband was out there with us a whole lot, and so was his wife, but they couldn't stand up for very long at all, and they certainly could not get up on a ladder to do the painting.
Right, so at the end of the week, we give our resident a gift to kind of commemorate the event. And so we picked out a picture frame, and we put a couple of pictures on it that of us working on the house, and like her son and her mom helping us. But on the back of the picture, we all signed it, and then we picked a Bible verse. And this Bible verse that we picked was the same Bible verse that her son has tattooed on his arm. And that made her really emotional because we never met her son, and he had recently fallen away from Jesus, so that just gave her a lot of hope. After our experience, we wanted you to know that 217 of us from 14 different churches, ranging from Florida to Virginia to right here at Hope, came together to repair 31 homes for a total of 6,500 service hours.